Hello everyone, I'm here to explain the ins and outs of the WatchGas app. To get started, you have the app open. In the top left of the screen will be two lines. You click that, and the password will be service, all lowercase, and that is a universal password for all of WatchGas's app. First things first, we'll come to single device setup. Click that and it'll ask you to tap NFC. Make sure that the top right of the monitor, it shows a signal. That is, the NFC is activated. For Androids, it'll be the middle of the phone. For iPhones, it'll be the top of the phone. And if the NFC is not showing up on your monitor, you would just hold the button until it beeps. Here, you can do everything from device identification, tells you the type of model the monitor is, tells you the type of sensors it's running. And here at User ID and Site ID, you can assign a user ID to a worker and a site ID for a job site. That way they know exactly who has what monitor. It also gives you the serial number of the monitor, what firmware it's running. Next will be function settings. Here you can set different types of alarms. You got your heartbeat, your confidence beep, your silent mode, alarm mute. With alarm mute, if it goes into alarm, it'll just vibrate and it won't sound. Low alarm check, backlight mode. This also is your data log interval. It's set standard at 30 seconds. You can lower that if you need to. You can always hit monitor always on. That way it's always backlit and always on. That drains the battery, but if you need it, it's there. Scan protect. If you're out in the field and you're worried of someone taking your monitor and tapping it to another device and messing with the settings, you can set a personal password in which the phone and the monitor has to have the same password or else it will not connect. Next is calibration. You can enable expiry, which means that if it passes the calibration interval, the monitor will shut down and will not work until it is calibrated again. Industry standard is 180 days. Some jobs and some companies would like to lower that. You most certainly can from here. And also, you have your calibration warning, which will tell you however many days in advance that your calibration is coming up due. And then here you can lock unit upon expiry. Same thing with the bump. You can set an expiry date to where if it does not get bumped in a certain amount of time, it will stop working. Bump speed, fast is usually what is standard. It depends on how long you would like for a bump test to take. Faster is less accurate than medium and slow, but this is still accurate enough for standards. Compliance interval, if your monitor has a smiley face on it, that means it's compliant. If it has a frowny face, that means that it is not compliant. If you have compliance expiry, just like with calibration or bump, it will shut the monitor down until the monitor is back in compliance. Sensor settings. Each sensor is popped up here, and you can set the low or high alarms as job site specific as you need. Health data. It shows the health of each sensor, how many hours the sensor has been active, the peak readings, factory calibration, then when it was set to, your last calibration, the sensor serial number, and it's the same for all, and also has unit data. In unit data, it shows the lowest temperature the monitor has been exposed to, as well as the highest, the battery serial number, the amount of hours that the battery has been ran, and the number of times it's been charged. Next will be saved configurations, and simply what this is in the previous screen, you could set everything to the standard of your job site, save that as a profile, and then just quick connect to a monitor, and that settings will automatically be transferred to the monitor and you'll be in compliance. Unassign, if you assign this monitor to a worker and that worker is done with that job site, or you want to give this monitor to another worker, you would hit this and it would unassign this monitor where you can assign a new person to it. Hibernation is only for single gas monitors. If the monitor is running but you no longer need it, you can hit this and hibernate the unit. That way the timer shuts down and you can have that monitor last longer in the field. Maintenance. Here it's asking us to tap the monitor again, make sure everything's settings. Then you would tap the monitor and it will bring up each sensor serial number as well as the star system, which is the health system of the unit. 5 stars means that the sensor is optimal and running at efficiency. When it lowers down to 3 stars is when WatchGas advises that you would have a sensor on back order just to make sure that you have one in case the sensor goes out. As well as the serial numbers for each sensor, it also gives you the serial number of the device, the battery, and the main board inside the unit. If you need to change a sensor out, it allows you to edit and change whichever part you need to the new serial number, and allows you to do a factory calibration so everything is set and everything's ready to go. Firmware updates, if you notice that your firmware is out of date and you need to update it, you would come here, SST4, pick your monitor, this one's the micro, and it shows you the newest as well as the one previous firmware. That way, if you update to the newest and it has problems, you can roll back, that way you're not missing any time out in the field. It is advised to do this in a dock, but you can do it from the phone. You just have to keep them connected and make sure that they do not become separated or disconnected. Gas bottle list. Here you can enter a bottle with the different concentrations. And if you have several bottles with different concentrations, you can have them all saved and pick which one you need. WatchGas is pretty universal on what they need as far as cal gas goes, so we always stick with the same values. Calibration. Here, as you just put in for the gas bottle, you pick the one you'd like. You go with WatchGas, you tap the NFC, and then you would tap it to the unit. Here it begins a fresh air calibration, and once that's done, we will move forward. Here, and once it's done, you would hit fresh air cal done. You would connect the calibration cap, make sure one side is in. Then it will snap into place and you will turn your valve. All right, we're almost done with this one. Once it completes, you will make sure that you hit spin cal done on your app. Make sure you turn your valve off. Make sure the gas is done. Take your cap off. It is normal for it to stay on alarm for a second while it regulates the gas. It will come back down on its own. Once it's done, you will tap the NFC again. And that will bring up the ending of the cal. And here, you will make sure everything is passed. You'll hit next. Make sure you have done the alarm check. You heard the audio, make sure it was still vibrating. There was no visual problems with the unit. Put your name, hit next, and it will generate your calibration certificate. From here, you can share this with an email, a text message, a cloud. That way you can print it out and hit finish, and you're done. Now for this unit, it takes a fixed flow regulator which has a valve on it since it does not have a pump. If you have an SST4 pump unit that does have a pump, you will take one of these quick connects on the end, attached to a demand flow regulator. That way the pump pulls the gas, you have no need for a valve. So moving forward, you have your fresh air. It essentially does what it did at the beginning of the calibration. It completes a fresh air calibration which helps level out the sensors. And the same with the bump test, it's the same exact process as calibration. You pick your gas, you tap, and it would perform the same exact situation. Certificates, if you by some chance wasn't able to share it or send it where you needed to when you were finished with the bump or the calibration, here it stores all of your cal certs. That way you can share it when you need to, or you have it as a backup in case you lose the one you print out. Event logs. This will pull up each monitor that has been attached to this app. You will go with the monitor you need, which will be the SST Micro. And since we've already connected it with the NFC, it pulls up everything that is stored inside the unit as far as events dating back until this unit was first cut on. Data log is a little different. It will ask you to tap the NFC. So you would make sure everything's connected, tap. From here, it will pull up each session that it has stored. You'll pull up session 10, since it's the newest one, extract data log. It will ask you to tap again. You tap it. You'll say yes. So it'll pull up and it will have everything that is going on with the unit, readings and alarms in 30-second intervals since the monitor was cut on. Connectivity. This is if you have the RTR software from WatchGas. Everything that you do in the app, once it's connected to the RTR, it will automatically be sent there. That way you can consolidate and see everything that is going on in real time with your units from the website. In application settings here, you can set user password, your service password if you want to change it. You can assign a check function, unassign your site ID. Scan Protect, it lets you pick what your password is for that Scan Protect right here, your languages, and obviously you can change from light theme to dark theme. And that is the end of the app.